Hi guys, it's me, Susan. It's day 102 of the Broken Hip Club. I am sporting one of my red hat chapeaux this morning, just to heighten the excitement that maybe one or two of you are experiencing. I have had some queries about how my hair turned out, the famous hair. So if you don't want to hear about hair, that's going to take up the first few minutes, but then I promise we'll go on to more profound issues. In fact, I think we'll do profound issues first and then we'll do hair later, so you all can just sign off if you want to. Besides, I like wearing hats. They're kind of fun. Okay, so I was going to post last night, but I got a few phone calls and it just got late, and at a certain point I feel tired and I just don't have the enthusiasm to do it. So I decided to put it off till this morning. The excitement yesterday, and one of the reasons I got home fairly late for me, is that I graduated from physical therapy. And I was very happy about that. Although I like the people, I'll miss the people. It's Momentum Physical Therapy up in Stone Oak in San Antonio. Great people. But I was ready. I mean, I have really zero hip pain at all. My only problem now is due to my pain in my knee, which I will, when I go see the doctor in about 3 weeks, we'll try to find out what's the source of that. Is it because my leg is an inch shorter? Is it because I've been walking kind of goofy while I was healing? Is it because I've developed arthritis because of the surgery? Whatever. And then when I find out what that is, I'll address that. Is it just going to be chronic and I just need some pain medicine or, shots or something? I have to find out. Anyway, but the hip is really, really good. I carry my cane around occasionally just in case I get exhausted or feel like I need it or my knee starts really bugging me. But for the most part, it's just sitting there all day, and that's really very fun. They did give me some exercises to continue doing on my own, but it will be nice not to have to go over there after work. And I don't know, just to feel like I'm finally coming out of the woods, which has made a huge difference, as I told you last time. Jolie, hush, baby. I'm near the living room, and that's her post for where she watches to ward off intruders. This is actually an intruder. A little family on their bicycles is going by with little tiny children. These are the intruders that she's warding off. Hopefully she says, you see, they went away, so I was successful. Anyway, Jolie, cool it. One last little bark. Anyway, what was I saying? Exercises, I guess, that I still have to do. I don't know if I was still saying that or not. But anyway, that was fun. That felt like a real accomplishment. Oh, coming out of the woods, and the shift that I've noticed in my feelings as far as the depression and the kind of just I give up kind of feeling that would sweep over me every now and then. I really haven't had to struggle with that, thank goodness, since I've started to see I'm going to be able to resume walking. Haven't really yet with Jolie because she's so exuberant. It can be a little bit of a challenge, but I'll be working on that. But just being able to see that I'll be able to return to what I used to enjoy, even though this leg thing, the inch difference in my legs will have some effect. I don't think it's going to completely change my life. Like I was feeling that just the whole thing was going to do, before I could really see that I was going to be able to heal. So that's really great, and I'm thrilled about that. And thank you all for all your support. The other thing I wanted to share with you was something that may not really apply or help many of you, but if you're like me, or even sometimes like me, I call myself a failed perfectionist, which means you never live up to it, but you're always feeling bad that you haven't. You try, but in some ways you stop trying things because if there are things you kind of assume you're not going to be very good at, or perfect. I mean, to me, it's not even perfect. I just have to be like better or great or something, and I can't do it. That's one of the great lessons of this whole experience, is having to really struggle with limitations that, I can't do anything about, and struggle with what am I, what's my value if I can't, I don't know, strive and achieve in exactly the same way I've always been used to doing. So what I've been looking into, and I think I mentioned, I don't know if did I mention Brene Brown to you before? She is my new hero, and the reason she's my hero is not because she's so incredibly better than me and I look up to her. It's because she's just the same as me. She's a failed perfectionist. She's just had the courage to write about it, and she's written a couple of books. Her first, she's a researcher, and her first book was her work on studying shame, which she feels like is pretty much a part of the human condition, that we develop, this feeling of not being good enough, and rejection, and things that we develop almost really as a part of just being born. We're striving to reconnect in some way that makes us feel secure, and it's a pretty universal feeling. But anyway, she moved from shame, and developing what she calls shame resilience, so you don't fall into that pit of worthlessness when you make a mistake, or someone rejects you, or doesn't like you or love you, to working on what she calls people who live wholeheartedly. And these would be people, in her opinion, who embrace their vulnerability and accept the fact that they're not perfect, and don't feel that that really has anything to do with their value. Their value is intrinsic, and everyone has intrinsic value, and you don't have to prove it. One of my favorite expressions that she uses is she says when we feel we have to prove our value, we are hustling for approval all the time. We're just, whether it's to perfect ourselves, or to please other people, or to not make waves, or to make sure somebody admires us, or something like that. We're hustling. I can so relate to that, because you feel like a loser if you don't get it, which is crazy. I've wondered, why can my self-esteem or my self-regard just plummet, because I don't get some kind of feedback that I need. One time I remember I attended a lecture in this I might even have talked about it before, I don't know, but anyway, this young, attractive, very bright psychiatrist, female, was giving this great talk, and about something that was not an area that I was interested in it, but I don't have any expertise, I don't have any training in it. And I was like thinking how awesome she was, and it just automatically turned into what a loser I was. And I really struggled with that for hours and hours. It was so blatant that I could see that it was crazy, but I couldn't stop it. But anyway, so Brene Brown, if you're not a reader, you can. She's done several TED Talks. I only saw one of them. If you're not familiar with TED Talks, TED. They're on YouTube, and they find people who are leaders in their field, or published, or people who do research in certain fields, and they have them just talk to an audience for 10 or 15 minutes about what they're doing. So you can search. Her name is Brene, B-R-E-N-E, with an accent over the last E, a little line going up, Brown. And so you search on YouTube, Brene Brown TED Talks. You can see her and listen to her. The book I'm reading right now of hers, which came after her shame book. The shame book was her first book, and it was entitled "I Thought It Was Just Me." And the other interesting thing she says is that you can make shame go away by sharing your feelings, by telling someone else about how you feel, because shame thrives on darkness and solitude, and believing that everyone else is fine and you're not. So sharing it and hearing a response that usually is, "Oh, I hate when that happens," or oh, I know what you mean, or something that kind of says, you know, yeah, that's happened to me too. It's really a great relief, as you know, if you've ever tried it, and then it reminds you that you're actually still okay. Anyway, this is her book, The Gifts of Imperfection. Let go of who you think you're supposed to be and embrace who you are. And I highly recommend it, especially because the large majority of the examples she puts in the book are of her own failures and times that she looked stupid, said the wrong thing, you know, made mistakes, and struggled with that. And I just really love that. I feel like that's a little bit of what I've been doing in some of these videos, you know, trying to really get comfortable with the idea that I'm not anywhere near in the kind of control that I thought I was. Okay, I see I'm out of time. I want to do my unveiling for you. Okay. Here's my hair. It looks different under all different kinds of light, but I'm happy with it. It's a little too orange in some lights, like this side right here I notice looks orange with more light coming from that side. But it's almost back to where it was like about 5 years ago, when I had just highlights on my regular hair before it got too gray. So I think it turned out okay. I haven't had to wear a bag on my head yet. In fact, now, here's a good example of a little bit of self-esteem issue. Only 2 people have mentioned it in the week since it's been done, and I've seen a lot of people who see me, you know, regularly. So my thought is, does it look normal enough that maybe they didn't even notice? Or did they notice, and since they hate it, they didn't say anything? So anyway, I've decided I like it, and until the next time I get it done, when I have to decide if I want to change it at all. I might even go a little darker. I don't know. I'm thinking about that. But anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I feel happy this morning. I hope you all have a really good rest of the week. It's Wednesday. That's hump day. I get to see Cameron this evening, and then slide on towards the weekend. So enjoy your day. I'll catch up with you soon. Thanks again for all your letters of support and your calls. I appreciate it. I'm happy that I'm doing well. And till I see you again, remember to live well, laugh often, and love much. And I'll see you soon on the Broken Hip Club. Bye-bye.